Hello, and welcome to Sports Life Talk South. This is episode 18. Call me Curtis. And we
I
have
can't believe it's episode 18. It's crazy.
You can't what?
Believe it's episode 18.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely 18. We've had 18 episodes, and we are finishing out the year with 18. Don't know if that's a lucky number or not. But we've got our host, M-I-double-Z, Ms. El Paso.
Buenos dias.
With her side hustle behind her. We're calling it a hustle, not a pick, because she's a man. And then Miss Brit, hashtag Free Britney, drinking a little vino there.
Of course.
Boy, do we have a doozy for you this evening.
And yourself?
Well, my name's Elena. And
two quarters, babe.
2 quarters make 50 cents.
I love it. All right, ladies, what are we drinking tonight?
I am having the Rare Cat Pinot Noir.
Ballin'.
Got this on my birthday.
Nice.
Very, very nice. And guys, sorry, I'm having some major lighting issues. I don't know why they keep turning off. We all know that my house needs a cleansing. I have not gone to the store that Ms. El Paso sent me the link for yet, but this will happen before New Year's Day, I promise. There's obviously a ghost in here that keeps turning off my lights. But I've got a Montucky cold snack because I opened up a super fancy Southern Star Brewery beer, and it's one of those that's aged in whiskey barrels, and it was just too much for me, so I gave it to my brother.
Aw, that's sweet. Brother Bear. I'm also drinking Southern Brewery, and I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas, so it's after Christmas. And I'm on day 5. It's the dry stout.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, this is actually really, really good. I highly recommend this for anyone who may want to do a 12-day challenge on beers and just kind of, do a chronicle or diary on it. It's kind of phenomenal. And Elena, you didn't tell me it comes with cards. It has playing cards. I thought that was so cool. So yeah, shout out to Southern Brewery.
Playing cards are awesome. 12 days of Krampus. There are, well, I should say before Christmas, when I went to go get Ms. El Paso her Christmas present, which was a 12-pack of Krampus, 12 days of Krampus. And there were 5 left at the Specs downtown or in Midtown.
Wow.
So I grabbed 2. I grabbed 1 for you and I grabbed 1 for my brother.
So there's probably none left, but
there's probably none left now.
Yeah. If they do, I mean, I hope they do like 12 days of summer or 12 days of something again, because that was pretty phenomenal. That was actually really, really good. But let's move on to our, and I always mess this up, breaking the glass facts.
Fact check against the glass.
Fact check.
All right. So this week's fact check against the glass is dedicated to HTOWN, baby. So each one of us has a fact. And who wants to start?
I will, because mine is, it's a good one, but it's also can be kind of sad. I need you guys to bring it back up after that. One of my friends who I met at Dean's years ago, Keith Watson, his dad, I didn't know until maybe about 2-3 years ago that his dad is Bob Watson. And Bob Watson actually played for the Astros, the Sox, the Yankees, and the Braves during 1966 to 1984. And he was a 2-time All-Star player. He was also baseball's first Black general manager for the Astros. And he coached the Oakland A's, and he was the coach for the Yankees when they won the 1996 World Series. He passed away May 2020. But to me, the fact that he was baseball's first Black general manager is pretty phenomenal. And there's this great picture of him that I saw in the Houston Chronicle with him inside the Astrodome holding this baseball bat. It's awesome. And Keith always posts different facts about him on Facebook. So I get to really read a lot more about him and his life. And he was pretty phenomenal.
That is super cool. Throw your H's up for that one.
Yeah. Shout out to Steve Watson. K-Dub.
Yes. All right. We have KD, Kimmy from Sports Life Talk Dallas is here, and Mr. Ken Robertson, the baseball traveler all the way from PA, joining us this evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Ken said, yes, Bob Watson was the man. So, Kim,
Hi, Kim.
We are doing our fact check against the glass. So that's where we name one sports fact that we don't think that anyone might know. And this week's our theme is Houston. So go ahead, Brittany.
Mine is that the Houston Texans are the only NFL franchise to never appear in a conference championship game. Over 20 seasons. Over 20 seasons in the NFL, and they've made the playoff in 6 different seasons.
Yeah, they've made the playoffs a lot. They always lose to the Chiefs.
They've never made it past the divisional round.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know that we can throw our H's up for that one. So we'll pass on throwing the H's up.
And no H on that.
I've got a ghost in the house. I'm sorry. The lights keep flashing. There is a ghost in my house. I don't know what's going on. All right. My fact check against the glass for HTOWN is the Astrodome, which was built in 1965, was the first air-conditioned domed in Major League Sports. First air-conditioned dome. Okay. It was also the first stadium to have luxury box seating, which we will talk a little bit more about on this cast. And it is where AstroTurf got its name.
That I did not know.
Fun fact, winner.
Fun fact, winner. Well, I don't know if that was the winner. I liked Miss El Paso. But the thing with the AstroTurf is when they put the panels in, there was a glare on the players' eyes. And so they had to darken those panels. And when they darkened the panels, the grass stopped growing because there was no natural light that came in.
Oh.
And so they had to do something, and so that's where AstroTurf came from.
I love it.
At the time, but then that's what they coined it, and that's now the name.
I love it. That's a really, really good, really good one. Here's a planning fact that I'm just gonna throw out there. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it. Never mind. This is all
right. Well, anyway, throw your H's up. Houston's most beloved building, actually.
Yes.
Estonians go crazy for the Astrodome.
Absolutely. All right. Look, well, let's just get into it. I want to know about this suite. You need to give us all the deets on this. Let's roll with this.
All right. So, first of all, thank you so much to Great Plate Hospitality, Mr. Paul and Doris Miller, whom invited Sports Life Talk to the Texans suite on Sunday's game. And it was a celebrity-filled event. Simone Biles was there. Andre Johnson was there, sitting with McNair, which was very strange to me, considering all of his tweets when they traded Andre Johnson and, DeAndre Hopkins. And he had Deshaun Watson's back on a lot of stuff. So the fact that he was sitting in the owner's box was pretty interesting to me. Brittany had a few boyfriends there. She had Brian Cushing, who was in the suite next to us with his whole family. And then there was also a celebrity. I wouldn't say he's as famous as Simone Biles. But in the U.S., no, because Simone Biles is globally famous.
Oh, no.
Nope. You think that 50 Cent is more famous than Simone Biles right now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
He's worldwide.
I guarantee that I'm not saying he's not worldwide. He's absolutely worldwide. But I guarantee that somebody that is 15 might not know who 50 Cent is, but they know who Simone Biles is.
Well, Owen knew who 50 Cent was, and he's 15.
One song. So my brother's girlfriend had no clue who it was. And her daughter also had no clue it was. And then they had to text, the birthday song. And then they're like, oh, yeah, in the club, the birthday song, Go Shorty, It's Your Birthday. So we think he's super relevant because that was our time frame. But in reality today, his relevancy is that song.
And I would say negative because everybody who has Stars or cable would know that he is the mastermind behind Power and now all the Power books. So,
Yeah,
and
but
he
how many
was
people-
on the show. He's a great actor.
Power is not global.
No, well,
So again, you're talking about somebody that would watch the show Power.
What I'm saying is that as a musical artist, he's worldwide, and that he's branched out more than Simone Biles. If you don't watch gymnastics,
Ken's got my back. Ken says Biles is more famous than 50 Cent worldwide. Thank you, Ken. Now, it's 2 against 2, Ken, on this one, right? So
here, I gotta stick up for my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna disrespect him while he's standing behind me.
Everybody else to weigh in as well.
Don't listen. Don't listen.
Don't listen, boo. Don't listen. Anyway, so Brittany, go ahead and talk about him rubbing your shoulder. I know you're waiting for that.
He was really happy to see me. He caressed me. I put my head on his shoulder. We had a good time. And then he came back into our lives. He came into our suite looking for me. And he goes, "Oh, there you are." And he reached out and grabbed me on the shoulder. But then he kissed Doris on the forehead. So
yes. So, okay, yeah. Doris said that she wasn't washing her forehead. Like, I went to go give her a hug, and she goes, "Excuse me, watch out." And I was like, "What?" She goes, 50 kissed me right there. All right, but why was 50 Cent at the game? So 50 Cent, for those who don't know, has moved to Houston, Texas. He moved here in May. He moved for various reasons, taxes being one of them. And he is now promoting his new champagne. So he was at the Texans game to promote his new champagne. But even more interesting, he now has a suite at the Texans game or at the Texans stadium. So what a year to get a suite to support the Texans. The year that they have won 2 games now.
But you guys being there were the lucky charms.
Oh, man.
Well, I just want to let you know that he does have a suite. However, he told me personally what his suite number was.
Like we didn't walk past the suite that said G Unit on it.
I don't care. He still told me he wanted me to come over.
Coach, you got to let us know next week how that Branson tastes.
Yes. Yeah.
Cognac.
So he has also been promoting, thank you, Ms. El Paso. He's also been promoting his cognac as well. And he's been all over the place. But I really want Ms. El Paso to take the reins here and talk about Frank Urquieta from Art Manifested. She had given me a Loteria card that had El 50 Cent on it. So Ms. El Paso, please talk about that for a little bit for the show.
Yes. So maybe about 2-3 years ago, I really got into Loteria. Loteria is a Mexican bingo game. And in my family, we would play it for Christmas. And so as I was looking for cards, someone told me that there was a Houston edition. And I was like, what do you mean there's a Houston edition of Loteria? Because the Loteria usually has just very random objects like El Mundo, which is like the world, the guy who holds the world, and just random stuff. But there was one that had Houston objects or items, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. So like La Bandera, El Toro, El Beltway. You know, I mean, it's just a really cool Houston Loteria card, and it's very true to Houston. So I had to get it. So I got it, and Frank actually expanded his cards and added more items, and I bought that too. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because 50 Cent had moved to Houston, everybody kept using this picture and putting him in like the restaurants or in random places. It was like a 50 picture, and they kept doing it. So Frank was such a genius that he created this collector's card of 50 Cent at the Astrodome with the Astros hat. And it's called El 50 Cent, right? But this is actually a limited edition card. It's not in the Loteria card set. It's just
You could have gotten that signed if you were with us.
I should have came past and got it. Actually, I didn't even think about it. I showed him the picture. So to add that, Ms. El Paso handed it over to me via picture, and I showed 50. I said, "Hey, 50, did you know you have a Houston Loteria card?" And he was like, "No." And I said, "Do you know what that is?" And he said, "No." I said, "Do you mind if I show you?" He said, "Sure, okay." So I pull up my phone, show him the picture. He immediately grabs his manager, pulls him over, and is like, "Dude, have you seen this? This is cool." Or they're like, "This is cool." And
he was dying laughing.
Yeah, he was laughing. I said, "You're L 50 Cent in Houston." And he thought that was hilarious. The manager didn't know what it was, but then he said, "Well, my wife is Mexican." So I said, "Will you please call her over here?" So I showed her, and she said, "We got to get 51 of those." So when we got back into the suite, I asked Ms. El Paso to please tag the artist or who made the game. And he reached out. He said that we made his Christmas. He said, "This is the best Christmas I've ever had." And he just couldn't believe this. And then not like soon after that, 50 Cent comes back in to the suite. And I talked to his manager again, and he said, "Send me the guy's name or send him my Instagram. I'll send you an address that you can send a game to, and we'll make sure that 50 gets it."
Wow. That is really cool.
As an artist, how cool is that?
Yeah. So Frank, we're throwing our H's up for you. It is 50 Cent L 50 Cent. Absolutely loved it.
Well, I got to meet Frank once because I went to go pick up the expanded version of this. He lives on the north side of Houston. And he's young. He's a young dude, and he's so sweet, like the sweetest guy. And shout out to him. I'm happy for him. Yes.
That is awesome. Get Frank on the show. Let's have Frank on.
Yes, 100%. I would love that.
Art manifested on Instagram, guys.
Art manifested on Instagram, yes. And he has really cool stuff too. It's other than that. I mean, more than that. Like I said, like even the box that the Loteria came in was Houston, with DJ Screw and everything on it. So yeah, it's pretty legit. Yeah, he's really dope. I love him.
Yeah, he was telling me on the chat how much he's from Houston. He adores Houston. He loves everything Houston culture. He's like, "Screwsted, it's trill." And I was like, yeah, this guy's the truth right here.
100%. Yep. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. And so,
absolutely.
For the Millers, for Dresses and Salted Pretzels, and Sports Life Talk, the Texans got a W. They won 41-29 with 16 players on COVID protocol.
Wow.
16. So
sounds like they got a new starting lineup.
That's what I said. Paul kept talking about, it's like mostly the practice squad that's playing. But they are currently ranked last in the NFL for rushing yards, and Rex Buckhead ran for a career high of 149 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
So this is the first time this season that anyone's ran up for over 100 yards for the Texans. Their last place. And Rex had his day, let me tell you what. And like I said, I can't believe that these guys must have known that all these celebrities were going to be in the stadium. They had
right.
Or I guess, like you said, they knew that we were coming.
They knew. Well, I have this thing against LA, so I really feel like maybe it was their hatred against LA, for everything. And maybe they just balled it up and just gave that great game to everyone.
It could be.
Could be.
But I will tell you, I think that could be possible that you'll see some of the champagne and cognac at Great Plate Hospitality. So that would be the Union Kitchen and Jack's Grill. You will not be disappointed. Definitely try one of those restaurants here in Houston.
And you got an exclusive on the live as well.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning
that.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, go to Dresses and Salted Pretzels Instagram page. We went live from the suite, and we interviewed Paul and asked him about his playing days at Purdue. He played football for Purdue University. Brittany and I did call him the Purdue Bag live. You can't take
It's
us
just
anywhere.
natural. It's a natural reaction.
Yeah. You
When someone
cannot
says that.
take us anywhere. And then with Doris, we tried these boozy bears.
Oh my gosh.
KD, you have got to come to a game with us because these were gummy bears soaked in vodka, and there was enough vodka in the shot glass to take the shot and then eat the gummy bears. So we did that live as well. So you can check that out.
They were awesome.
That's really is awesome. There's another win that happened today for Houston, and that is that U of H beat Auburn in the Birmingham Bowl game today, 17-13. So, all right, Cougs, good job. I'm so happy for them. I'm happy that they got into a bowl game too.
Heck yes.
I feel like they're coming up. I'm looking forward to their basketball team. I know that they've been underrated, but I wouldn't count them out. I think they might have a chance this year.
You know what, Coach and Katie, that is a good idea because B. Jones, I don't know that he wants to make the trek down here to Houston. So you two got to roll together and come on down. You know we're going to roll out the red carpet for you.
And I agree with you. It is overrated.
Jason, who's also on the chat, came to visit us, and I took him to dinner, and I paid.
Baller. Other things that are happening today not today, but this week for sports. MSU is playing Pittsburgh and Atlanta for the Peach Bowl on Thursday. I will not be watching because my beloved Watson has decided. Keith, oh my God, did I call him by his right name? I'm losing my mind. Anyways, he's one of he was supposed to be a Heisman nominee or whatever. God, I can't remember his name. Anyhow, he's no longer playing for MSU. He decided to go into the NFL draft. So I'm just too hurt. I don't care if we win or lose. I'm lying. I'm going to watch it. I hope we really win. Yeah.
We're going to totally watch it. We're going to watch it with you.
And Brittany, Ohio State is playing when?
They're playing on the 1st against Utah.
You see, Brittany, this is what I don't like. Ohio State, because they're like, oh, whatever. I mean, we always go to like the best bowl games.
That's not even true. When I was growing up, they didn't go to the best bowl games. It wasn't like every school has a year or season, right? And however many years it lasts, and then they do the whole regroup. So Ohio State wasn't always going.
Are you excited about the first?
I will be when it's on.
Erica, go white.
Although
go white, thank you. Yes.
Although a lot of players have already announced that they won't be playing. So Chris Olave, who is amazing, he's out. I can't remember who else is out, but I just saw that pop up earlier.
It's going to be a very interesting fall next year for a lot of the college sports games.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Well, let's go into the players' anthem.
Real quick, I just want to say rest in peace to John Madden at 85 years old. He passed away today. He was a Hall of Fame coach for the Raiders and, of course, broadcaster, sports games. Like I was asking Coach earlier, I was like, how many Maddens are there? He's like, so many that I've even stopped playing them because there's so many out there. But, what a personality, what a great guy, father, husband. I mean, he was everything, especially to Raider Nation. Shout out to Hammer House from the Raider Nation. He has a podcast that I was on earlier today. Just kind of jumped in the chat and then they brought me on live. It was not necessarily a planned thing. I had just actually gone and gotten a hydrofacial. So that's why I got this glow up. Thank you, Jade from Restore. So I went on there with no makeup on, hair in a ponytail. And anyway, the Raider Nation, they come in hard. Let me tell you what, Ms. El Paso, there were over 150 people in the chat the entire time. They were on the podcast for 2 hours, and these people were not leaving. I told them all about you. and how you're a big Raider Nation fan. So they want to have you on the podcast. So you're going to have to brush up on your history with the Raiders now. But definitely you're going to get a spot. It was really fun. There were actually a couple of Bears fans in the chat, and, you know, they were like, hey, yeah, Bears fan, we love you. And then I threw Bear down in the chat, and that sent the whole place on fire. So they were great, though. I had an awesome time. So thank you so much, Hammer House, for having me on. Please go follow him on Instagram. He's actually out of New York, and it's just super fun. It's all Raiders fans pretty much, but it was a great time. So thank you so much again. And then player anthem. So this player anthem goes out to Jonathan Owens, who's the Texans defensive back. He spent most of his time this year on the practice squad, and he had his first interception and his first fumble recovery. He's also Simone Biles' boyfriend, but, you know, that does not define him.
He's not Mr. Biles.
You see how I flipped that one around there? Anyway, this player anthem goes out to him and his spectacular performance on Sunday. And that song is Hate It or Love It by our dear friend L50 Cent. Because let me tell you what, Jonathan Owens shined, homie, until his heart stopped. So that is our player anthem of the week.
That's a great song. I like that one. That's a good selection.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going through the whole list, and I'm like, what fits with the Texans performance? I had to have something that fit with the Texans performance. And then I'm like, you know, and then I started singing to myself. I'm like, go ahead and envy me. I'm Rap's MVP. And then hate it, you know, like, I love it. So that was a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, check that out. Put that on your playlist for the week when you're driving to work tomorrow, or if you're off and you're cleaning the garage. Hate it or love it, 50 Cent.
All right. So who's our player hater?
I don't know that we necessarily have time for player hater, but real quick, see, do you see that? This is telling me that I need to stop hating on people. The minute I said player hater, the ghost turned off my light. They're like, Steinman, we need a pure heart for 2022. Stop hating on people. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you just very quickly, player hater is Bill O'Brien, because that butt chin, the minute that he traded DeAndre Hopkins, it all went downhill from there. And he started the season last year, 0-4, got his butt in a sling, and was fired. But he is the one that started this domino effect for the Texans being terrible, even though they won on Sunday.
Oh, I think I have a picture with him, and I'll never show it.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I have a picture with him, and I'll never show anyone again.
Maybe we should put it in a burn book.
I mean, it's not that bad. I actually looked really cute in it. But yes, I need a burn book. We need a burn book. That's what we do need. I agree with you, Brittany.
I was just thinking that Mrs. El Paso's like, oh, I mean, you guys had a picture with 50 Cent, but I've got a picture with Bill O'Brien.
Erica would be laughing at me right now because she says, Misty always names dropping. I'm like, girl, I ain't got nobody to name drop, and I'm going to be here like, oh, I got a picture with him, though.
See what
happens? I got a player
hater.
I have a player hater before we leave.
People are friendly.
Joe Burrow, I hate you. Why do I hate you? Because I put Dak Prescott in my fantasy football team to play this week, and he goes out and scores the most ridiculous amount of points that pretty much cost me going into the championship game. So yeah, I appreciate that, Burrows. Now you want to show up and show out. I'm now fighting for third place this week. So my player haters to Burrows, because I hate you, and I'm sure anyone who had you on their team and benched you also hates you. And before we go, I have another player hater that I want to give a shout out to, and that's to COVID. The reason why I didn't go to the game was because guess who hosted 4 people over at her house that were all like super safe and everything and got COVID? Me on Monday. So I tested positive, and I was like, please, Lord Jesus, let this be something that is just a joke or fluke or something. And sure enough, it wasn't. And I was so hurt that I couldn't be there on Sunday, but I was so happy because they had the most amazing time. Both women deserve it. and Brother Bear got to be there and have an amazing time. So that just makes my heart really, really happy. But there's 5 people that I really want to thank for this week, especially because me having to be at home by myself during Christmas and I can't frolic on the streets like I wanted to during my vacation time. Elena and Daisy for bringing me food. I've been munching on it all week and it's been fantastic. Erica, shout out to you for answering my calls when I'm bored and just listening to me rant about random things because I have nothing to do and nothing to talk about. And
that's what best friends are for.
Yes, and giving me that girl is like a sister because we get into fights all the time, but I love her. But yes, me and her, ride or die. And Keith and Marlon, because Keith also gave me food, but these both gentlemen had home tests, and it was their last home test. I couldn't get a PCR test to make sure that I was positive, and they both gave me their last home test, which I'm really, really grateful for. They didn't have to do that, so a big shout out to them. But yeah, I felt like I needed to tell everybody because we don't say that we got it by doing something kind of like safe. And so just shout out to everybody who helped me out, and please be careful during the New Year's. It really does spread quickly. So, yeah, just watch out, be careful, be safe.
Awesome. And I just want to say before we close this out, big ups to the Bakari Foundation. We are starting our giving campaign in 2022. And in fact, we are starting it on January 1st. So I am throwing a New Year's Day brunch, and we are going to start taking donations that day for the Bakari Foundation. So if you want to check out what the Bakari Foundation is, thebakarifoundation.org, but also watch our last episode where we introduce the foundation. It's our Christmas episode. And speaking of New Year's Day, Happy New Year's to everyone. It's our last podcast for 2021. So make sure to check out Dresses and Salted Pretzels and Ms. El Paso on Instagram. Follow Sports Life Talk on Instagram, on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. Do not forget to watch Sports Life Talk tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on YouTube, the same channel that you're watching us on. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely loved the comments. Thank you for the live comments. You guys keep us going throughout the entire cast. So have a great one. And we'll shout out on Instagram all the people that we shouted out in this episode today as well.
All right. Adios.
You already know what.
We're back.
We're back.